Show of hands if you have ever felt personally victimized by Instagram or overwhelmed by social media. Show of hands if you've ever opened up your camera and seen your face and been like, oh my God, I look like that today. If you have it all figured out, you wouldn't be here. And my hope today is just to make some of these devices that you carry around all day long a little more approachable, for you to have a little more confidence in yourself, for you to feel a little lighter, and to even have just one takeaway that you can apply into your business and also in your personal life, which every single person in this room, I know that your business is personal. And a lot of your personal, probably the people in your life that matter most to you would say is taken over by business. And it's an extension of who you are. And so my hope is to help to bridge the gap between the online and the offline, and also to, in the process, build the brand of yourself, build the brand of this amazing business and organization that you're a part of, and also build the industry as a whole by putting more faces and names into what that looks like. Does that sound good? Okay, so I am originally from Minnesota, which is about as Canadian as you can get without crossing the border. And for more than half of my life, I was a Special Olympics coach. I coached gymnastics for people with disabilities. And every single year, we did something called the polar plunge. Has anyone heard of the polar plunge? So it was basically ice plunging before it was cool. In the middle of winter, usually the coldest day of the year is when it would always coincidentally fall on. We would carve a big hole in the ice, and all of us who were coaches or volunteers or simply supporters of the organization, along with all of our athletes, would raise money to jump into this cold ass tub of water in the middle of nowhere, outside, freezing our asses off, because that was just a tiny little glimpse of discomfort compared to what our athletes experience every single day of their lives. And I remember the first time that I did it, I wanted to back out. I wanted to chicken out so bad. I wanted to cancel so bad. I think I put on like 4 layers of sweats, which if you've ever done that, that actually makes it worse for you, because then you're heavier and colder, and it's just not good. And so we line up along the ice, and there's over 100 people in line. And the whole way I'm just shivering and complaining to my fellow coaches and board members, like, oh my God, like, do we really... Guys, do we have to do this? Like, who willingly wants to do that? I know there are people in this room here like, I would never take my money. My mother wanted to write me a check to not do it because she herself was afraid for my life. And as I am about to come up to the edge and jump, as I'm saying, do I really have to do this? One of my athletes comes running and she's dripping, so she's already done this. And she yells, you don't have to do anything, you get to do it. You don't have to do anything, you get to do it. One of the most common questions that I get before I speak, especially around the topic of social media, is, Giselle, do I really have to do social media? Boo-boo, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. You don't. You can keep doing business as usual and you will be fine, or maybe not. But even when it comes to your everyday ordinary tasks, I want you to start flipping that mindset from have to get to. Have to get to, and even writing that down, put it on a Post-it, because that alone can also change the way that you're showing up. Because in an instant, in that moment, I went from dreading to going, fuck yeah, let's go. And I jumped and held hands and I did it again. And you can tell when someone is forced to do something that they don't want to do. Okay, has anyone ever had to take a family photo with a screaming child? Or maybe you've been that screaming child, and there's always that kid that looks constipated because you know that they don't want to be there. That is what you look like when you're doing social media just to check off the box. That's what you're doing when you're doing the video just to say, oh, I did the video. If you're not showing up as if you're actually looking forward to being there, whether it's taking a meeting or using that video to replace you as the meeting, or maybe that's really actually the meeting before the meeting. When I talk about listing presentations, the best advice I can give you is have the listing presentation before you get there, where people feel like they've already seen you and they know it because they saw a video of you and they got to know you online. So you actually show up to the listing presentation and they go, oh, you're the same online as you are off. I already know that I want to work with you. So let's just get to the details. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that save you so much time that you already have a hard enough time managing?